Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
And because I'm a lifelong learner, I have to let you know that this whole environment is new for me. So I will be navigating as we go along. It really is wonderful to be in Alabama and to be sharing with all the district leaders, to be seeing all the other members of Toastmasters. And I really am having a good time. I would have loved to be able to see you from the camera, but what I'm going to turn around, change up a few things as I try to adapt. Would you be willing to turn on your cameras, if at all possible, so that I can see some of the persons with whom I'll be sharing? Right, so we see if I see a photo of Judith kid. Nobody else? Oh, right. Tracy. Wonderful. Please, you can. So we have Tracy. Tracy, can you unmute and give us a shout out, please?
I can. I'll shout out to everybody.
Okay,
Hello.
no, we're not hearing you, Tracy. One moment, please. Our technical persons.
Should I? Do you want me to just keep talking till somebody tells me to be quiet? Can the Zoom people hear me?
I can, Tracy. It's Elaine. I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. We could have conversations till they.
Carlos. Carlos.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Hello, sound. Are you hearing us?
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks, Tracy. Thanks. All right, it's good to see you. So we have Tracy, there's Carlos, there is Avelino, there's Todd, Elaine. Elaine, you have my middle name. Yes. And then we have Hattie Smith, Hattie Bees, fried chicken from Nashville. And we have Joe Celeste. Lovely. Hi, Joe. And then, okay, so there are the others. There are not. Citra. Oh. CK. That's
Good
right.
morning. Good morning.
Congratulations again on receiving your Distinguished Toastmaster Award.
Good morning. I can
Okay.
hear you. Can you hear me?
Vocalizers Club, yes. All right, so thank you, everybody. It's wonderful to see you. There are times I'm going to be asking for your participation. All right. Like, hi, Carolyn. Yes.
Hi, I can hear
All
you.
right. Thank you again so much. I need you to understand from the get-go that you're very valuable. I need to come back here, right?
You're fine. No, you were fine where you were.
I was fine, right? Wonderful.
Good.
We're having a good time doing this. All right, so
Back up.
today,
Back up.
there you
There you go.
go. Okay, beautiful. Today, if every so often when I glance, I won't be able to see them, right? All right. Audience, if you're here.
Well, actually, I think, yeah, now if you want the audience to see. Won't be able to do that.
Okay, thank you.
We're not that technical.
Today, we want to share a little bit on building a Toastmasters Club. The benefits, rather, of building a Toastmasters Club. And I want us to talk a little bit more about that in terms of your involvement. I'm going to ask you to put in the chat for me one benefit that you would have experienced from being in Toastmasters and the fact that you're a part of a club, or you might have helped to build a Toastmasters club. Will you put that in the chat for me? And I'm going to ask Evan, our chat monitor, to tell us some of the things that you're saying.
Talking about here.
You'll be able to do that?
I'm responding.
You won't be
Okay,
able to
I'll
do
do
that.
it. They're improving as a Carlos says improving as a speaker and
So-
leader.
Carlos says improving as a speaker and a leader.
Tracy, develop leadership skills.
Develop leadership skills, Tracy. So 2 benefits so far. Anybody else?
Renee says gain confidence in doing presentation.
Gain confidence in doing presentation. Love that.
Wayne also says increase confidence.
Hadley?
Increase confidence.
Increase confidence. That's a big one. All right. Thank you so much for that the contribution you have made. One of the things that we need to
Point at the computer.
here.
It's on.
So I'd like to find out from you what is your comfort level or the kind of zone you are in as it relates to building a Toastmasters club. And we have 3 comfort levels that we want to talk about. All right. Whether it is that you are comfortable, and that for you will be a 1. So that will be 1. Being comfortable. 2, is it a stretch? Is it a stretch for you? In the room, we are using our cards, and as you can see on the slide, so if you are comfortable, you are going to be in the green zone, and that's your 1, or if you want to use the colors, since you can see that screen. Yeah, so let's use the colors. So if you are comfortable, that will be green. If you are having to stretch to do it, that will be like an orange for you. For us, it's a yellow. And then if you are in the panic zone, you're just not sure, no, I can't do this. Thinking about building a Toastmasters club makes me panic or very not comfortable at all. All right, so please put in the chat for me your zone of comfort as it relates to building a Toastmasters club. Again, we're going to be working our monitors. They'll have to tell us how many.
Red, just plastic, green, bridges, or this is coming from, Adelina's orange.
Okay,
Sebastian, the learning, Carlos, green, just plastic, green.
beautiful. So, okay, so Evan, how many persons are comfortable based on the responsible? How many people are in the green zone, that comfort zone? Okay,
So we have 4 in the green.
you have 4 in the green, and in the room, how many persons are in the green zone? All right, we have about 3. Okay, beautiful. So there's a level of comfort there. Pretty comfortable. How many persons? So we have 4 online. And that's out of 16 persons, I believe, are online. And then how many persons it's a stretch for them in the yellow zone?
5.
5, okay. And how many persons? Panic, really so. How many persons?
In the red, it looks like we have 2.
We have 2, okay. Right, so we're going to be easing them over a bit as we go through our presentation. Thank you so much for your contribution. We are going to be learning a little bit more in order to determine what the benefits are, some of the key things that we need to do as we enter into building a Toastmasters Club. Right? Beautiful. May I submit to you, based on this from Neil Donald Walsh? He says life begins at the end of your comfort zone. I need you to embrace that and to begin to see it. As you make that step outside of your comfort zone, your life will begin. I know, yes, you were living all along, but that extra something will take you over as you move out of your comfort zone. So every day life begins in a different way. Our objectives this morning. Good, thanks. At the end of our session together, district leaders and Toastmasters members should be able to engage in building new clubs. So that's for all of us. At the end of the presentation, you should be able to articulate the benefits of building a Toastmasters club. And the third thing that you should be able to do, and notice it's action, very active, is to share the knowledge and Toastmasters experience, the benefits with individuals. So it's not just Toastmasters, it's not just members, but broadly, we're taking this beyond Toastmasters because we want persons to be a part of Toastmasters and those persons who are already a part to be enhanced and to be experiencing some more benefit. And this morning, our district director shared with you the district mission. Because we are stepping out of our comfort zone, we are going to go beyond that and look at what the Toastmasters International Mission is. And all of us should know that. And it says, we empower individuals to become effective communicators and leaders. That's what the mission of Toastmasters is. That's what we are about doing. And again, when you think of the word mission, it's active. So we are going to be doing something. Empowering leaders of individuals to become effective communicators and leaders. All right. The district mission again. I want to remind you of that. It was said this morning. So it's all of us in this room, all of you online. We together build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. And excellence is one of the Toastmasters' core values. That's what we do. What does that mean? It means that we manage and we focus on new clubs as well as existing clubs. To be a part of that and to get the benefits going, we have to do that. Then let's look at the club mission. And this morning, your district director reminded you again. I'm not able to see anybody, so I can't ask persons to unmute and read that. It's not going to be so clear. But we don't have audio. They're not able to hear them.
But we can't hear them.
All right. We're gonna need to fix our system that you can be more interactive. It's truly hybrid. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered. So you become empowered as well to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. And many persons place in the chat their level of comfort as it relates to being able to build a Toastmasters club. And prior to that, the benefits that you are gaining from being a Toastmaster or being a part of building a Toastmasters club. And many persons pointed out to being confident. So let's move on. Now, building a Toastmasters club is like, as you can see on the screen, it's a process. Right? And I'd like us to look at it. Because remember, before we can appreciate the benefits, we have to appreciate the process and what is involved. I'd like us to look at it as before you start building the club, during and after. What are some of the benefits you are able to get along the way and as you go through the process? And from you, the image you can see on the screen, it starts with people, see it there? And when you look at the final product, people are a part of it. And so it's right along the way. The construction will be taking place, setting up, and the image speaks for itself. We're going to go into a little more detail as it relates to Toastmasters Club. So before you have a desire to do it, you turn that to become active now, you have to turn it into a goal. So it becomes a goal, that desire. You can carry out a research to gain the knowledge. Where would be the best place? Which group of persons? Where, who, what are the interests of persons as it relates to personal development, professional development, personal growth? So you are going to be looking and doing your kind of research. And as Toastmasters members, our research begins every day and it's a part of every day because we want to share this good news. So we are always looking out for prospects, all right? And so you are able to do your research and you need to find leads, inbound and outbound leads. Toastmasters International talks about that. And you have a guide, a club building guide, where it gives you those kinds of details. Let me just share with you a little definition of what we mean by inbound leads and outbound leads. So for the inbound lead, I think a little closer. The inbound leads are people who seek you out. So those persons come and say, listen, I want to be in Toastmasters. I want to help build a Toastmasters club. And these persons, they come from a variety of sources. The outbound leads now are people that you identify or pursue who may be interested in starting a club. And yesterday, we went to Silman College, where there are persons who are not just interested, they are very interested in starting a club. And they are very ready to start a club. And that was very encouraging for us. And we were able to start sharing with them some of the benefits of building a Toastmasters club and becoming a part of it. And I have there as a resource Toastmasters Club Building Communication Guide, and it gives you quite a bit in a friendly way as to what's involved in the club building. So those are inbound and outbound lead generation. Outbound, you go. Inbound, they come in and want to do that. Club building. Club building is a numbers game. Yes, it is a numbers game. It's like, for me, selling life insurance. We have a formula that says you have to have 50 prospects, 40 persons. Out of the 50 persons, you'll be able to make contact with 40 persons. 30 of those persons will give you an opportunity to speak with them, do what we call an interview, and 3 will buy. Can you imagine that ratio? Out of 50, only 3 will buy. So it's hard work. And it's the same thing with the club building. As you can see, the ratio in club building that you can get 100 leads, and out of that, 10 prospects. Yes, out of 100 leads, 10 prospects. And believe it or not, 2 will attend the demonstration meeting. Therefore, you have to always be generating, at least getting the information. You need a number. It's a numbers game. And one of my lecturers many years ago, he did accounting. He taught us accounting, and he would say, figures never lie, only liars figure. The numbers are very clear, and they are the ones that tell us exactly what's going on. And it's the same thing with club building. Again, it's hard work. Some guiding principles as we enter into building club. You're going to be helping people to understand how Toastmasters will bring them value. Right? And you, as you build clubs, you have to value the process. There are certain steps that must be followed, and we have to follow those and learn the things along the way. Quite a little thing that you will learn along the way. So you have to follow this step. Each step offers an opportunity to get more information on the prospect or the lead. And because you have to be in touch with those persons, and it will help you. When we are sharing our story, before we bombard them with a lot of things, we need to listen more. We need to talk less and to understand their needs. And I like it that the needs of the prospect, based on the questions that you will ask. Because let's say, you know, for broadly a community, you want to know the age group that's interested. What are some of the things they do in terms of their occupation, or what are their interests, their hobbies, and what are their timelines like, or their time management, what kind of time they have. In a corporate situation, you will be asking questions like, what are the core values of the organization? How many employees? How much do they put on training of employees in terms of bottom line dollar? You want to know that. So you have to find out these facts. And then as you build, or as you begin to build, you will need to be able to make a recommendation. That's a part of it. And that's a guiding principle. It's not good for us to just go and sit and throw down things at our prospects. We need to know what their needs are and then make a recommendation. And building clubs, one of the other guiding principles is that it's a team effort. So it's not just our program or public relations manager who is involved, or our club road director, but all of us. It's a team effort. And the resources are in the district. You have expertise of the international director, of the region advisor. All of us are involved in the club generation and the building of clubs. All right, it's a team effort. And remember, we are here to support each other. We can always ask of each other. Some other guiding principles. We have to find out who are the decision makers, the key stakeholders. It doesn't make sense to be talking to persons who are not decision makers, because ultimately you want to close that sale, you want to get a club going, all right? And so these are the persons who will be ready to attend the demonstration meeting. Out of those 100 leads that we talk about, you can develop a way to eliminate persons from very early. Again, some pre-questions that you ask. And so you have to get very scientific about it, serious, and let persons know that you have something of value, but you don't need to be begging persons. The presentation that is made, Toastmasters International has material and templates. You can customize those to make your presentation when you get to that stage. And remember that the goal is to engage your lead or your prospects and to build rapport. Begin to build a relationship very early. Yesterday we did that because we were able to have the persons introduce themselves, and we did a quick impromptu, and based on that we were able to learn impromptu speaking rather, and we were able to learn quite a bit about the persons, and that told us what were some of the needs that they had. They also asked us questions. We listened and we answered carefully. So all of that was helping to build rapport. Our focus, we need to determine what that is. Is this for community club building, or is this for corporate? When it comes on to community building, it focus is really development of the person, professional development. All right, and that's individual development needs. In the corporate group, the business needs. As I mentioned before, it's important to find out what is the return on investment, because the person in corporate, they are into the bottom line. How will this contribute to their bottom line, the profit? And the employees have a big role to play in that. We are focusing on their development. And we need to know the core values, as we mentioned before. And what is it that are their key initiatives? Another part of another principle has to do with the words that we choose when we are talking to the different groups. So for example, when you're speaking with corporate groups, we talk about a program, a training program. We don't talk about club, talk about a training program. So they're going to be enrolling in a training program, not a becoming member of a club. So that, having done your pre-prospecting, that will give you an idea. When it comes down to the community, overall, everybody, yeah, we can talk about dues. But when it comes down to corporate, we talk about fees. All right. So the Toastmasters program incorporation, I am recommending this book. It was written by a past international president, Pat Johnson, and it says a handbook for building and sustaining vibrant Toastmasters program incorporation. Very, very good, user-friendly, and breaks it down for us as we move on. Toastmasters International gives us big support because it provides corporate club building marketing tools. We have a nice form letter that you would use based on the person who is your decision maker, who you will be writing to introduce yourselves, to introduce Toastmasters. You have that introductory letter. Then there's the Toastmasters International fact sheet. At this point, it needs to be updated, but there's important information there that you can use until it gets updated. There are some flyers. Does your corporation need better speakers and leaders? Perhaps at an open house, you might be using that. All right. And it tells you have the flyers, and then there's a little bit of information there as to what you can get. There's also a flyer that talks about investing in a brighter future. This morning, our public relations manager and I were talking about the fact that as Toastmasters, we are not to be reactive, but we must be proactive, be forward thinking. And part of that is to get the businesses to be doing that too, the different corporations. Become an effective speaker. There's a flyer for that. And there's also a flyer that talks about transform your talent. And this one resonates with me, especially because we are in this new environment of creativity. Yes, many persons have not gone back to their usual jobs. No, they are into creating and leveraging their hobbies, leveraging their talents, and for that to bring them income. So Toastmasters, we have to be ever ready and to be responsive to the environment. So that is another tool. And when you get in and you're working with this corporation, I really have a heart for that. One of the things we must encourage them to do is to ask the Human Resource Department to put the Toastmasters material in the new higher order orientation package from day one. As the employee comes in, a part of their orientation package is something about Toastmasters that speaks to the benefits, that speaks to how they can grow and their future can be brighter. They can develop professionally, giving them that competitive edge. And once you are establishing and building that club, whether it is from the community base or the corporation base, you need to have regular meetings with the person who you would have identified as, we call it the corporate champion for the corporation, but for in the community, that key stakeholder who is a decision maker, right? But that's a nice word for the corporate champion. It makes such a difference. Champion the cause. They champion the cause. And as we have listened, and as we have, good morning, welcome. And as we have talked about Toastmasters, I want us to just encapsulate from these two sides some of the unique qualities of what our Toastmasters International education program. Our movement is an education movement, and that's it. And Let's move out of the teaching zone and understand what education is. It's big, and that's the driver of our lives. Education, when you have information and know how to manipulate information. It's not just about getting the information. You think? Thank you so much for understanding. I'm back. And you most have been reading as we were here. So in Toastmasters, as you build the clubs, we will learn and we will be able to share with persons that we are creating an experiential learning environment. And that means you are learning out of experience. Right? Especially for adults, they have quite a bit of experience, and we can help them, we can educate them.
I'll be brave and try to talk. Do you hear me in the room? Thanks to our district director for directing me. All right. I am sorry about that. As I said before, I'm sure you have had an opportunity to look at what's on the screen. So experiential, because one of the big things about Toastmasters that differentiates us and is significant is that it is skill building. Our mantra says we learn by doing. So the second point there is that it is self-paced. We can stay in the program for as long as we want. And many retirees are benefiting. I heard our club growth director share yesterday that she's retired, but she is benefiting from Toastmasters because her experience is able to take her through another phase of her life, but does not in a very general way, but in a directed way. And so she's going to be able to polish herself, enhance herself. And in doing so, she'll be able to serve others. So it is self-paced. There's no graduation. You have various levels of learning and development in the program. That's one of the beautiful things about the program. Unique qualities of our program. There's no pass or fail. People learn from peer evaluation. That's a big part of our culture. If there was anything that is a column, I call it, that's the peer evaluation in Toastmasters. It differentiates us, it distinguishes us from any other communication organization. And peer evaluation, not from an instructor-led and graded program. That's not what ours is about. All right, the peer evaluation is critical. The program focuses on communication and leadership development, unique quality. The program is a part of a worldwide organization in more than 144 countries. Anybody know can type in the chat how many countries are in the world?
Have you ever thought about that?
Naturally, you should be able to hear.
You should be able to hear it now.
Okay, yes, you can tell me. And you can feel free to unmute and tell me. Anybody knows how many countries we have in the world? I see some persons Googling.
Yeah, that's one of the.
137?
Are you talking the whole world or just Toastmasters?
No, the whole world. Says it is 144. So how many countries are in the whole world?
Students said 260.
I believe I read somewhere where it said 265, so 260, good, close, lovely. So we are in 144 of that 260. So that would be more than 50%. Yeah, and we're growing, we're evolving. We are a worldwide organization. Building a Toastmasters Club, every one of those will add to it. And it's important that we understand that the curriculum is the property of Toastmasters International. Anybody who is going to be a part of a club, anybody who is going to be a part of the program, the development program, whether it's corporate, they have to understand that the corporation, when they are signing the agreement, the program that we are bringing is, and that the program that we are bringing is something they are agreeing to. The conditions for its delivery. So there are certain conditions for delivering the Toastmasters program, and we have to allow our prospects to understand. All right. It has to be done in a certain way in order for it to have the desired effect, the desired impact, and for the members to get the benefits. So we want to look at some of the building benefits that happens while we are doing that, while we are building our club. And some of the activities we have to do as Toastmasters, we have to meet with our stakeholders. We host open house. We do demonstration meeting, and of course the club meeting, all of that. Many times we do these things and we don't even realize what we're doing, but these are some of the things we do. So there are some of the benefits of that. You learn event planning skills. And that's a big benefit. Do you know that persons charge for that? Because event planning skill is a technical, it's very technical. And on the slide there, you see that you have to determine what is your purpose. You have to determine the timeline for each activity. When are you going to, as you determine what event is about, when are you going to do the promotions, and you have the timeline for that. At the end, you have to have a demolition crew or a cleanup crew, all of those things. You have to picture the day, what is going to happen, all the things that are involved. Getting that agenda together, getting in touch with the speaker, getting their introduction, so many things. And so your planning skills are honed, or you begin to learn them and be benefit as you build. Another one is that the big one, leadership. You will learn leadership. Oh my God, that one, we can take it all over broadly. Everything centers on leadership, and you're able to develop your organizing and planning skills again. So Toastmasters members, I'm encouraging you, if you are not doing this, you have your notes on your phone, have a to-do list every day. Learn that from Toastmasters, take it into your professional life, take it into your personal life. That's how you feel accomplished. And that's how your reliability is ensured. People can depend on you. You said you're going to do this, write it down. Written down things get done. Believe it or not. Don't depend. This brain, so many things are coming at it every day to handle it. Write it down. Write it down. Type it in. As soon as it comes to you, when many persons know you can do your voice, talk to Siri, talk to Alexa to remind you, whatever, but do it. All right. And as a benefit, you are provided with concise and relevant information that you can provide for key stakeholders. Again, the planning and organizing skills
And in Toastmasters, you have to work together in teams. That's one of the things you share with your prospects. All right, the team building, very important. And you can speak out of your experience about the leadership benefits. It's numerous and wide. Because as a leader, you must be a good planner and you must be organized. Important. So today, I want to put something that to you to examine your planning skills and your organizational skills. Is there anything you need to improve in that? Because it's part of your personal empowerment as you build. One of the big parts again, another one, you build relationship. As you build Toastmasters Club, you build relationship. We cannot underscore that. Going to the different conferences together, speaking with other leaders, speaking with other club members, and you learn so much about their culture, you learn so much about their country, their community. It's the lifelong learning that takes place through those relationships. You become friends, you network, you can take it beyond just Toastmasters into your workplace. You get ideas about how to operate in your job. The benefits are wide and broad, high and all there for us. Not to mention the fact that you build and use interview skills at work, at home, and socially. Yes, you learn to give feedback. You learn to understand preparation. When you are going for an interview, and Toastmasters has many, many resources as it relates to interview, coming out of the magazines and all of that, go there, look for them. Because in preparing for an interview, many times persons go and you tell persons, oh, I'm a good team leader. Oh, I am resourceful. And you're just spurting words. But what Toastmasters does, you have the experience. So you can give an example of the reason you say you are a good team leader. Or that you have good planning skill, you're a good planner, you're a good communicator. You can speak out of your experience. Interviewers want to hear the experience. They want to hear the scenario. They want to get the real deal. And in Toastmasters, you're able to give them the real deal after having the experience. And then that feedback, I want to encourage us to take it home. Giving feedback to your children as part of the relationship, to your spouse, to your family members, take home feedback. And an example is very quick. You want to talk with one of your children about something he or she did, or slam the door while you were talking, upset. Right? Good. So you can say, McKinley, I'd like us to have a little talk. And when you sit with each other, say something positive. Yes, to them. Yes, I just love how you are able to express yourself. I listened to you the other day when you were in your classroom on the program, and I was so proud of you. Put it there. And no, we have the issue to deal with. And you will say, the other morning, after we were finished talking, you slammed the door. What happened? What was your reason for doing it? And Toastmasters teaches us to ask questions, don't make assumptions. Yeah, and he or she might share. And most times they will, because after you did that nice build up of the positive part, and then you end at perhaps might have been a better way that we could deal with it, because this is the impact it had on me. And you might agree together as a way going forward. One of the beautiful experiences I've had in my life was that I don't have children of my own, but I have many young persons who have lived in my home. And I remember particularly, and I will always remember it and help to define my own life. There were two young ladies who lived with me. And every month we would sit down together and look at the things that were going well and the things that were not going well. They have now gone and we're still in touch. Your children are my grandchildren.
our relationship is A1. And I attribute that to the tool that I learned in Toastmasters about giving feedback and being able to receive it well. And just how to build relationships and make them meaningful and harmonious, because so much is not about us. It's about how we are able to make the other party feel and how we are able to live together. But we must be willing to do that signal. And so every month we improved and we became better. I am commending that to us as we take it home, building benefits. And after, so we looked at before building, during building, and after. What are some of the benefits? Benefits are ongoing because we have to do maintenance. When you build your Toastmasters Club, you have to do maintenance. Yes, look after the people, look after the members. The needs are going to be evolving. I always say to people, when you get married, the age you get married, your needs change. When you are younger, their needs are different. You're going to build and make a life together. If you get married at my age, I say, just really companionship for us to do things together. I am bringing something to the relationship. You are bringing in complement. Our needs are different. And I'm putting it out there that your needs change as the years go by. So you're going to say, oh, my partner is changing on me. This is not the person I knew. Of course not. The person is growing. And that's what you are growing, changes will take place. So we have to maintain it. And whatever it is that we have, the skills, we have to enhance our skills. So there is an enhancement. And we have to be relevant. Please. You remember, we talk about old school, we talk about the new school. Toastmasters, we need to get an understanding of what's happening in the new school with our young people. And me, I work with young people. I tell them every day how I love them. I love the whole technology. I love the things that are happening. And they are the ones who are on top of things. They can know what's going on in the world. And so I love to sit with them for that. And they love me because, yes, Auntie Shirley is very detailed. And I read over things for them. And I will be able to say, how about looking at it this way? I will keep validating them and show them the benefits of why it's important to dress professionally as a leader. Little things like that. And most times because of our relationship, they will listen because they see the value. Our business, in the life insurance business, it's a financial services business. And I had to say to my young people, listen, you have to conduct yourself in a particular way, and it comes out in your leadership image, how you dress, because you're handling people's money and they want you to know, they want to know that you're serious and you understand what you're doing. So as a leader, that professional attire, the conduct, how you carry yourself is important. And my experience has been that they value that, see that benefit. So that thing of relevance and giving insight, the building, the aftercare. Not to mention my big one is the transition. One of the benefits is that all of us, once we are willing, we learn change management, and with the impact of the pandemic, we had to learn that. We had to what many people call pivot. And we had to respond. That pandemic has changed our lives forever. And we are now having to navigate that. Toastmasters, 1 or 2 clubs were online prior to that. No, all the clubs had to go online. And some big benefits came out of that. Today, I'm laughing at myself because I have been presented in the virtual space. I have been doing hybrid, but today's experience is different. And I'm embracing it because we have to remain relevant. Right? This is what the classroom setting brings. And we are evolving, we're transitioning. Toastmasters, we learn to manage change. And part of what prepares us is because we are in a place where we say to ourselves, we're not going to be reactive, we're going to be proactive. Think it through, what if? All right, put yourself there. And so there is my little, don't change it yet, sir. There's my little, please go back. And in here. We're going back a little. Yes. So there is my little acrostic called "You Get a Merit" after you're building the Toastmasters Club. And you see my merit: maintenance, enhancement, relevance. So M for maintenance, E for enhancement, R for relevance, I for insight, and T for transition. So come on, you can do that now. Everybody, put a tap on the shoulder. In Jamaica, we have this saying, you say pop color. In other words, you congratulate yourself. All right? You got merit. So another thing is that after building, you have some benefit. What you are doing is that you would have empowered other individuals to become effective communicators and leaders, just like the Toastmasters International Mission says. And you do that through coaching, mentoring, so many other things you can add to the list. And while you are doing that, the other persons become functional and optimal employers and employees, family members, team players. That's who they become. All right, and that's a big benefit because now you are serving, you're giving, and they are becoming, and you're helping to be the solution to your nation, to your neighborhood, to your family, and everything, because you are empowering these people. One person, ladies and gentlemen, will have an impact and influence 250 other lives. So look at the big benefit. Just want to quickly, as I wrap up, talk about the district success plan. And there we talked about the mission already, the district mission. So as we carry through the district success plan as leaders, there are some things that are in it that are key to building. And we need to just look at it and to see our role quickly. Toastmasters International has a strategic plan, 2022 to 2024. And as the regional advisor, I need to bring this to your attention if you don't know before, and also if you know to look at it. Because you're going to be looking at it and asking yourself, as I benefit from building Toastmasters Club, as I contribute to building Toastmasters Club, how does this fit into the strategic plan of the organization? How am I helping to fulfill the goals that are there? All right, so take a look at it. The Toastmasters, the strategic plan has 4 goals for the next 24 months. And I will share with somebody that usually strategic plans are for 5 years. But because of the environment in which we are working, it changes so much. We have to be more proactive and think about 2 years, not 5 years anymore, 2 years. That's part of the transition. That's part of the change management. So for the next 24 months, Toastmasters goals are grouped like this: club excellence, member achievement, awareness and engagement, and operational effectiveness. When it comes on to club excellence, we have the action is to support all clubs in providing a consistent quality member experience by delivering on our brand promise. I'm high on the brand. Just like we have Nike just doing the Toastmasters brand, where leaders are made. That's our promise, to empower individuals to become effective communicators and leaders. So we have to deliver on that. Empowering individuals through personal and professional development. Member achievement, so that was goal 1. The other one, support members in achieving their personal and professional communication and leadership goals through experiential learning. And you see how they inter and overlap. And we are doing that through our pathways level achievement. The goal for the entire organization is to see a 4% increase in that for this year. Okay? Or for each of the 2 years. Awareness and engagement, expand global recognition of Toastmasters International programs to promote engagement, membership, and club growth. Another one, members consistently invite guests to attend meetings. If you are experiencing and getting something good, want others to benefit, want to spread the good news. Clubs regularly. So club members, make sure you conduct the open houses and membership growth programs in order to build new clubs, in order to support existing clubs and enhance them. Think about your club meeting. How are you going to make it different so that these goals can be realized? The moments of truth. Go back and look at it. What do you ought to be ensured that happens in a club meeting for the benefits to be there? And so, as part of the awareness and engagement, what's the role of clubs? Clubs and districts create effective public relations. All right? We have our public relations manager right here. So he will also help the clubs as to how they can engage like this to create that awareness. The districts actively prospect for and charter new clubs. Everything, we're back right there. Districts and world headquarters expand global advertising program throughout the world. So those, the world headquarters, everybody is in this. It's an everybody role to make sure that the awareness and engagement happen. And the last goal, how does that translate? Operational effectiveness. Create additional value for members, leaders, and stakeholders. You have heard those words since morning. Through standardized tools and processes, resulting in world-class operation. So we have to be intentional. We have to be deliberate. Area directors consistently conduct productive area council meetings. Area directors online, the room. Area directors conduct effective club visits. Follow the steps as to what your club visits should entail. Operational effectiveness. Division directors consistently conduct productive division council meetings. I know you're hearing, you're seeing. District directors consistently conduct productive district council meetings. What are we going to do differently to enhance and to be operationally effective? Some club building resources for you. Club growth director handbook. How to build a Toastmasters club. That's another one. There's another resource all about Toastmasters. 3. Develop your leaders from within. 4. Another one. Features, benefits, and value chart. All of those are club building resources. And we have one more set. So much here. Here's one called Find Your Voice. And keep that one in mind as I close. Find your voice. Uncover your leadership potential. Club building resource. Toastmasters Club Building Guide. I referred to that earlier. And of course, I referred to the handbook, a handbook for building and sustaining vibrant Toastmasters programs in corporations. I want to encourage us to just look at those resources. And so I'm saying, as we build the benefits of building a Toastmasters Club, remember the district mission. It's a district event. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. So I am commending to you, fellow Toastmasters, friends, individuals, fellow leaders, that you are to take these guiding principles and lift up every voice. Lift up every voice. Give everybody an opportunity to hear for their voice to influence and to make an impact as all of us together build our nation, build our families, build ourselves. And you can look up and see where that originated about lift every voice. But because I put it up, lift up every voice, because it's going to be an action by all of us. And as I am ending, I just want you to write in the chat for me. What is one thing you learned from the session that you will embrace and share as a benefit of building a Toastmasters Club? Not something you knew before. So if different persons have the same thing, that's fine. But from today's session, what's that one thing you learned? All right, so we have our chat monitor there. He'll be telling us what are some of the things that you are writing. What is one thing you learned from the session that you will embrace as one? You will own that. And the other part of it, you will share it as a benefit of building a Toastmasters Club.
Len says she's learned some event planning skills.
She's learned about, yes, that you can gain event planning skills. Mhm.
And then Carlos said he's learned to examine my skills so I can keep myself in the club polished.
So he's going to examine his current skill. Yes, and do what?
So he can keep himself and his club more polished.
So he can keep himself and his club more polished. I love that. And that's one of the beautiful things too. You can constantly review and assess to become better. Lovely, lovely.
Just Liz, she's learned about the importance of adhering to the program as it's developed.
Yes, the importance of adhering to the program as it develops. Value the process. My famous line, guys, I always talk about the fact that we are so busy wanting to get to the destination that we miss the things that happen along the way. And so many things happen along the way. Who you become as you go through the process. All of that. That's valuable. And remember, sometimes you set out to do something and it didn't happen the way you think, but celebrate the small wins. Two more.
That's good, yeah. So speaking of that, Renee talked about learning the importance of writing everything down.
Learning.
Don't depend on memory for memory.
Don't depend on memory to remember everything. Write everything down. There's a saying that says, short memory, short pencil better than long memory. And yes.
And Matthew said he learned about the marketing for the growth of individual greater self-control and personal growth of individuals.
Wonderful.
Marketing.
Lovely, lovely. Any more?
That was the last one.
That was the last one. Please repeat it.
So yeah, Matthew says, I have learned in the marketing for the growth of the individual greater self-control and the personal growth of individuals.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, my participants online and engaged. So my final words to you, make a decision. Whatever it is that you are embracing and going to share and do, make a decision and do it. You never change. I'm going to ask somebody in the room to read that for me, that last line. Okay, please go ahead. This is? Lisa, please stand up, introduce yourself, be loud, and just tell them.
I'm Lisa Johnson-Led. I live in Piedmont, Alabama, and I don't again. It says, you never change your life until you step out of your comfort zone. Change begins at the end of your comfort zone.
Thank you very much. So let's just do it. Okay, thank you again to everybody, and I look forward to our continued engagement as Toastmasters and as lifelong learners. Bless you.